You see here, look at this Local Petitions and Referendums Act. It says under 6 here, right, that subject to Regulation 7, local authorities shall hold a referendum by virtue of this part when they receive a valid petition, blah, 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 blah. A petition may be presented to a local authority, right, by properly addressing, prepaying and posting it to any office or authority, or by delivering it to any such office. The thing is, it's saying that it's by prepaying, by addressing and prepaying. Can you get the council to pay for it? It says that elections should be free and that you can't be charged for petitions, right? Does that include the delivery of it, though? Because I wonder, because that you're having to pay money, you know? I'm starting to wonder, right, if you, at least if you're successful, and at least if you get the petition actioned, I really think that you can claim all the costs back. It is an official, proper, legal, judicial process in the history of England, and I'm starting to wonder if you can claim monies back. Because, you know, in a criminal case, you know, the person who is found guilty pays costs. The person who brings the case, the victim or the claimant, through the police, well, police are paid for, you know. This is the whole thing around elections. It said the elections should be free. So if elections are free, why are any of the political parties paying for them and having these extravagant promotional things? They didn't used to get paid. So, you know, they didn't used to get a wage. You know, they didn't even used to get paid. So, I mean, if they haven't got massive corporate sponsors, how were they supposed to pay for it? You know, this is the thing. If it was voluntary, the thing is, when it says elections should be free, and when, you know, we had people who weren't paid, so really, you can only afford to be an MP because you'd have, you know, is it self-paid, you know, to get there, or for the time off, can you afford to be it? I mean, if it's not paid for, though, could you at least claim monies for expenses? That's actually not getting a wage for it, but at least you might not be losing money that way. You know, you know, this is the thing. Well, but you know, when ministers weren't getting paid for it or weren't getting a wage for it, who was paying for the paper, though? You know, who was paying for the materials in Parliament? You know, who was paying for the parchment on which they're enacting the new laws on? You know, this is it. Were they claiming travel expenses? There's a big leap from it being completely voluntary and you don't get paid and therefore only rich people could be MPs to you actually getting paid, you know, because it seems to hop, skip and jump over, how about you don't get a wage, you don't get paid, but, you know, you at least, you know, get your travel expenses covered and so forth, you know. This is the thing with legal cases, you know, with civil cases, you're meant to get costs back. You know, you go to court with the government, you go into proceedings with the government, into the judicial process, and, you know, you get paid for. There is an argument that if you are bringing a case to get laws made and changed in the country, and if you get it done, that, you know, that's not something and nothing. Could be more significant than a police officer using a police car and some fingerprinting ink to catch a criminal. You know, you might even change the laws over all police in the country. Not, you know, a new fingerprinting process which requires, you know, all the ink being changed. And if you manage to achieve that feat, you know, shouldn't you get the postage cost paid for sending the petition in, you know, claim expenses back to the government, you know, well, you know, I brought this case, you know, this is it, can I claim back? The petitions committee aren't even on that page. They're not even there. This is to do with like the newspaper. When I said to the London Evening Standard, well, I'm not. This petition is not for profit. You know, it's non-profit. It's not for profit. You know, so I'm tax exempt. You know, I don't have a charity number or anything because it's just a one-off petition, but it's tax exempt. I got the disc. She knocked me some money off, but she gave me a discount, but she didn't officially. Instead, they took the they took the damage of the monies into their own profits. From their own profits. They didn't actually run it through as tax exempt. And I said, well, I don't think petitions should have to pay tax. You know, I don't think they knew how to put it through. I think how you put it through is you write, you know, next to it, this is a petition to the government. You know, it's non-profit. But, you know, they want like a tax code or a tax number. You know, I'd put the petition number. It's a number we've got, you know, I'd put petition number 6784439 with HM Government. You know, what a number, what's your registered number? Well, that's the number. You know, who's a registered charity? Well, I'm not a charity. Are you a registered democratic organisation? No, it's a petition to government. What's the number? That's it. You put the number of the petition. But the problem is, on 38degreesandchange.org, you're not getting a number. You could say what name the petition is, or identify the URL of it, the internet URL of it, or the address of it would be an identification code, not issued by the government though, but nonetheless a code. This is the problem with HM petitions really being fickle and obstructive about getting petitions published on Parliament website, because they don't want them on there. If they can help it. If you get one published on there and you want to run it through the newspaper for an ad, then it's more likely that, you know, I'm taxing. If you say, like, put it this way, if you've got one of those Parliament petitions published that's live, and you publish it in the London Evening Standard, and you say, I'm tax exempt, and then they say, well, you know, what's your tax number? Well, you're giving them the number of the petition, and then they go to the website, oh, it's HM Government, then it sinks in more. It's sort of, there's some, you know, it's not like scanning a barcode and it not doing anything. It's like it goes beep. It's like, oh, HM Government and revenue tax. Oh, what's this? Oh, HM Government page. Oh, what's this? I'm publishing a petition in the newspaper. I don't have to pay tax. You know, what's your number? Oh, there's my number. That's the number of the petition there. See, you know, I'm not a charity or political democratic party, but here's my petition number. It's tax exempt. I'm publishing it in the newspaper. You know, beep. You know, that is, you know, if anything, that's the way to do it. And I don't think that really you should have a problem running it through that way. You know, I definitely don't think you have to pay tax on them. I actually think you could claim the tax back for all the travel related to your petition, at least if you're successful. Anyway, maybe there's an argument for whether it's successful or not, like with a case to civil or criminal case, you know, whether you win or lose. Maybe if you get the petition actioned, maybe then I think that you should be able to claim either full expenses back or at least get the tax back for it. But I don't think you should be paying the tax anyway when you're publishing in the newspaper. And this goes a long way to YouTube. This goes a long way to getting this YouTube case proved, because they've got ads and you can declare it is for political, and you know, you get these disclaimers and so forth when you're publishing Facebook ads and so forth. But it's really this is not for profit, right? It's non-profit, but it's not just, I'm not buying myself an ornament for the shelf at home. It's not goods either, right? You're not buying goods, right? This is non-profit, and it should be tax exempt and non-profit. And this is when your 5013C comes in, your illegal campaign intervention of non-profits and by non-profits. And the way YouTube are calling it is that they say no one can intervene in election campaigns or political campaigns. No one. right? But, you know, non-profits and tax exempt, you know, this is like proceedings with Parliament and government. You know, you get expenses paid for with court proceedings. You know, and jurors and people like that get expenses paid. You're bringing a case in proceedings to government, and this is the thing that puts petitioning under 5013C, really, at least in America. It isn't for profit. You're not a democratic organisation. You're not a committee. You're not a society. But, you know, you're meant to have a petition number or something like that. And that's what... This is the thing with the whole Cop City petition that's going on now. That's another thing that I think, Neil, I don't know if RFK is going to raise that in court. If RFK is going to raise that matter in court when he makes a claim against YouTube, I don't know what the regulations are of political campaigns, if they are fully tax exempt or not, and democratic organisations and campaigns, but that would raise the 5013C illegal campaign intervention clauses into it. I know that petitions are definitely non-profit. You know, you shouldn't really have to pay tax on them because it is a not-for-profit thing. You're acting to get an action through Parliament. And more than that, it's proceedings. It's like a criminal or civil case, you know. And the thing with a civil case is you might win the civil case. You're winning a claim for money, but the proceedings, you know, and the court expenses of the proceedings get included with it as well, you know. And I know you can claim travel and, you know, monies and stuff back in from criminal cases and things like that and receipts and so forth. It should be like that, really.